rocking with us after the Dodgers. Oh, by the way, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're watching the show on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, be sure to share the show. Have all your takes, all your reactions from tonight's game. Throw those in the comment section. Give me those spicy lava. Give me those hot takes. I want those fire takes. The Dodgers, they dropped Game 1 of the NLDS to the San Francisco Giants by a score of 4-0. The Dodgers got caught in Logan's Webb tonight. They just could not get anything going with the bats. Look, I don't know if someone forgot to pack the bats in the trip up to L.A., but the offense, they just were ice cold tonight. They end up going 156, just 5 for 32 tonight, 11 strikeouts. Hey, that was good times tonight. That was a frustrating loss for the Dodgers. Walker Buehler, he had a couple mistakes. One to Posey there in the first. And then in the 7th, he gives up the bomb to Chris Bryant. And that was the formula for the Giants. What they did, what you saw today, was their winning formula on full display. It was starting pitching from Logan Webb. The Giants were 12-0 at home in his starts this year. He had a 1.69 ERA pitching at Oracle. Well, now the Giants are 13-0 at home in games where he started the game. But here we go. Let's get in the comment section. Let me know where you're rocking with us today. Give me those city zip codes, area codes. But by the way, guys, I think we need to point this out. This was always going to be the toughest game. The Dodgers coming off that emotional high, the wild card game. The guys are probably have that adrenaline worn off. They're exhausted. They want to go in there and try to get this win. The Giants, they were fresh, they were ready, and they had one of the best pitchers in the second half of the season on the mound for them, ready to go. And he was dealing tonight. Make no mistake about it. He had all three pitches working for him. The fastball, the two-seamer was fantastic, and he was just filthy. He was shoving. He was working that changeup and that slider, and the Dodgers, they just could not figure out that changeup or slider at all whatsoever. They were getting owned by it all night. 10 punchies on the night for Logan Webb. 9 of those 10 came via the slider or the changeup. Just 1 via the fastball. So he was working his off-speed stuff, and as great as he was, I think we have to point out that the Dodgers, they made him look even better. They were expanding that strike zone, chasing sliders outside of the zone. That 7th inning, that at-bat by Matt Beatty, he was just not looking for strikes. It was not disciplined at the plate. He didn't have that strike zone awareness that makes this team so special. The Dodgers, the lowest chase rate in the game, and they could have grinded out some better at-bats and tried to get that pitch count just a little higher on Logan Webb, despite how good his stuff was. But here we go. Buehler overrated. Luigi DeGrande. Well, look, last year Walker Buehler, he had a 1.80 ERA in the postseason for his career, a 2.35 ERA. Tonight, he made a couple. He didn't have his command early on, and he was going with tons of four-seam fastballs. Didn't have the feel for his secondary pitches early in the game, and then on a 3-0 count with first base open, he leaves that pitch up that I believe was a cutter up to Buster Posey, and he hit it out. So, yeah, on that pitch, it was actually a fastball. I'm sorry about that. It was actually a fastball. He leaves it up, and Buster Posey, he just takes off on it, goes 382 feet. So that was definitely a mistake. And then later in the game to Chris Bryant, another 3-ball count. So both those home runs that he gave up come off those 3-ball counts. And, yeah, he was really burned. I wouldn't say it was overrated. I thought that, Walker Buehler, he didn't have his best stuff. He didn't have all that great he didn't have his monster swing and miss stuff that we've seen him have in the postseason. He wasn't lights out butane Buehler like we've seen in Game 3 of the 2018 World Series, or Game 163, or in the NLCS. The list goes on and on. He's come through time and time again in the postseason, but he just wasn't explosive like we've seen him. But I was impressed by some of the pitches that he made, that he was executing to try to adapt. Look, he could have just sat back there and said, hey, I'm just going to try to throw fastballs by guys, and it wouldn't have ended well. But you saw him go to that knuckle curve. He ends up with 5 strikeouts on the night. He had 1 via that fastball, and 1 via the cutter, 1 via the changeup, and another via the cutter. So getting his fastballs by his off-speed stuff, that's not really a good sign when it comes to Walker Buehler, because this is the time of year where he's supposed to unleash, and he's supposed to empty the tank, and you're supposed to see him just give elevated fastballs with that perceived rise, just dominating hitters. You're not seeing that. But look, all in all, when you score 0 runs, the Giants, he could have given up 1 run tonight, and the Dodgers would have lost because the offense was absolutely putrid. they were colder than Rob Manfred's heart inside of an igloo. Wait, correction, Rob Manfred doesn't have a heart. But here we go. Get into this comment section. Glad I had some martinis. It made the game so much more bearable. That's from Diane Schroeder over on YouTube. Keep coming with these takes, guys. I'm going to go lightning round with your takes, trying to get as many of your takes in. So have the fire takes. I'm going to go out, and then we'll break down this game a little more. But pound for, oh, by the way, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Also, for the best Dodgers Nation merch, head over to gearup.la. That's our official store. So get merched up. Here we go. Carl Summer. Dodgers brought champagne bottles to the game instead of their bats. I like that one. Mark Harmon. Beatty is just not a full-time starter. This is where Max getting hurt is going to really hurt us. Beatty is great when it comes to pinch hitting, but if you rely on him daily, you're going to see the type of hitter that bats under 250. That's from Mark Harmon over on Facebook. Yeah, Matt Beatty, along with really the rest of the gang tonight, look, Mookie went 2 for 4, had 2 singles. Seager had that double. He goes 1 for 4. Will Smith, I thought, had a really good night. He was absolutely robbed of a terrible call by Carlos Torres there early in the game. It was clearly a ball off the plate. It goes as a strike. Thanks a lot, CA on YouTube, hooking up with $4.99. That'll go towards my carne asada fries and some beer, and the rest will go to, well, actually, I'm not up to that level, but I'll definitely cop some. But couldn't we walk Posey? William blocks in. Look, it's so early in the game. I would say that you wouldn't necessarily just walk him, like throw just, intensely walk him there, but that fastball where it was against Buster Posey, he had green light on it, and he definitely said go. So definitely you got to just be more cautious in that situation if you're Walker Buehler. Bottom of the zone, maybe go with the knuckle curve there, possibly the cutter. But at that point in the game, he still had his confidence, hadn't given up a run yet. It was still early. You still have to trust your stuff. And look, this is a guy that he is trained to think he can throw fastballs by guys. That is what he's used to doing, particularly this time of year. That is what he does. And if you're Walker Buehler, in years past, how many times have we seen him get out of 3-0 counts and just throw strike after strike and find his way back in the count? But it wasn't the case there. If you look at his pitch mix tonight, like I said, he was going heavy four-seam fastball 57% of the time, the cutter 15% of the time, the knuckle curve 10% of the time, 99 pitches total. Ends up getting 12 swings and misses. So the swings and misses, not missing bats. He's not the Butane Buehler right now. Let's just be honest. I mean, he's getting it done. It was still a respectable start. There's no question about it. It was still a quality outing by most standards, but he's not. He'll tell you first thing that he's not. It's not a dominant start. It's not a start where we talked about in the last few years that this is the best postseason pitcher in the game. But I still believe in him. I still think he'll make the adjustments. And like I said, with the way at the end of the day, it's not like he got chased or he got rocked or anything like that. He just got outpitched by a pitcher in Logan Webb that has been absolutely dominant. Like I said, a 1.69 ERA at home. He has been one of the best pitchers in the game for at least 4 or 5 months now. That's how great his second half has been. So, like I said, a 1.69 ERA at home. This year, they were 12-0 in the starts. But if only we had Tommy Lasorda to smack him into shape from Mr. Cat. No excuses from William Bloxon. We got Moose Buehler, did enough. Thought it was the offensive issues. Yeah, and then also, I mean, he's look, when Walker Buehler, 6 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, had 5 punch-outs, 99 pitches, 64 for strikes. Like I said, 12 swing and misses for Buehler tonight. He was 17 for 25 on first pitch strikes. And yeah, he was falling behind in the count at times too. That was another issue for Buehler tonight, falling behind in the count, just kind of having to labor out there. And when you don't have a lead and you're not getting the run support and you're having to go out there and just keep it with very, very little margin for error, it's very difficult. It's very taxing, and that's definitely an issue right there. But yeah, I mean, if you're Walker Buehler, though, look, I mean, 6 1/3, 3 runs. I mean, he gave up the home run there to Chris Bryant there late. But other than that, I mean, look, the bottom of the 6th inning, he got Crawford to ground out. He struck out Posey after buzzing him up top. and used his cutter to get the punch out. Then he got Wade to fly out, and it was his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. So they said, hey, let's send him out there for the 7th. It didn't work out. But at the end of the day, the story tonight is the bats getting dominated by Logan Webb. We knew he was good, but the Dodgers made him look better than he really is. And yes, he's a fantastic pitcher. He was out there shoving. It was Greg Maddux for the Cubs back in the 80s versus Oral Hershiser, just dominating. But they were chasing balls off the plate all night, and they were, like I said, 10 strikeouts for Webb tonight, 9 of those 10 coming via the changeup or slider. But we'll get into some of these at-bats, but let's get into more of your takes. Here we go. Tomorrow is a must-win from Robert Rocha. I think a must-win if you want a shorter series. I mean, I don't consider it a must-win. I think the must-win game would be if they lose tomorrow and then the Dodgers at home. Because, look, the Dodgers can take 2 at home, and this could be a 5-game series. I mean, why wouldn't this be a 5-game series when you think about it? I predicted it to be the Dodgers winning 4 games, but this is the first time in postseason history that you have 2 teams that have 105 or more wins facing off in the postseason, and it comes in a condensed 5-game NLDS. So, look, this Giants team is a really good team. Make no mistake about it. They are as advertised. And tonight, like I said, it was the home runs. They showed you why they won 107 wins tonight, why they finished second in the league with most home runs behind the Toronto Blue Jays, but they finished first in the league in most runs coming off of home runs. So that is their formula. That is how they generate runs. And you have to keep it in the yard against this Giants team. But here we go. Julio Urias is goated. Yeah, we got the Urias tomorrow. I feel confident. He's got the slow heartbeat. I think the Dodgers come out tomorrow. And look, I think there'll be a little pressure. There'll be a little pressure on the Giants tomorrow. Don't kid yourself, because if the Giants lose tomorrow, there's no guarantee they come back to San Francisco. So they have to protect home field tomorrow, because you know it's going to be rocking at the Ravine, and you still got Scherzer going at home. So I still like the Dodgers' chances in the series. Absolutely. I'm still very confident. This game, this to me was, I'll be honest with you, just when this game started, waking up today, I was like, let's get through this game 1 and see what we're up against, because I've been watching this Giants team for months now. When I say I watch them, I'm saying I pretty much watched every inning of the Giants games, even on recorded, because, look, man, we were on this division race, and you saw how dominant Logan Webb has been, and he's been their most consistent starter, their best star in the second half of the season, and he showed why. But here we go. Dodgers got to be patient. Don't swing at bad pitches. It's the key, Phil Hamilton. And that is this team's MO. It was uncharacteristic to see this team getting taken out of their game so many different times. You saw, Cody Bellinger kind of had a little. He put the ball in play today, but not the best at bats from Belly. I think he was guessing a lot out there. AJ Pollock AJ Pollock had another rough night. He had 2 punch outs. He had that weak ground out. And A.J. Pollock, in his Dodgers postseason career, he's hitting 150s, 9 for 60 in his Dodgers postseason career. I really think that it might have been a good idea to have Chris Taylor, the guy who just hit the 4th walk-off postseason home run in franchise history. Maybe he should get an at-bat. Maybe you should see him out there. Of course, he would have been batting for Gratterall with the matchups the way they were. You had Gavin Lux out there. But I think either you have him in there at either you have Chris Taylor playing in center for Bellinger and Pollock in left, or you put Pollock in left and Bellinger in center. But look, Bellinger has shown more than Pollock has in this postseason for the last couple of games. Of course, he had a breakout regular season, did A.J. Pollock, but at center field it can be a tricky position. It takes a lot of athleticism. You have to cover a lot of ground. Chris Taylor, when he was filling in there, he was solid, but he wasn't great. Let's put it that way. Everyone trying to tie the game with every swing, from Jeremy Fenton, Francisco Acuna, Walton Bueshaw. Interesting. Disagree? I mean, how could you say that? I mean, come on, man. Guys, you have the internet, right? Google Walker Buehler's postseason history. I mean, tell me you don't know baseball without telling me you don't know baseball, or you haven't been watching the postseason without telling me you haven't been watching the postseason. So really just exposing yourself there. So that's pretty embarrassing. But I know you're probably a Giants fan, but welcome to the stream. Not a must win. We came back from down. Yeah, great point, Ren. I mean, the Dodgers lost game 1 of the NLCS 5-1. They lost game 2, okay, before taking game 3 when they exploded for that 11-run first inning, scored like 15 runs in that game. So, yeah, I mean, the sky isn't falling. I think the most disappointing thing is all the hype leading into this series. You were just kind of hoping that with all the hype between these two clubs, with this being the first postseason matchup between these two arch rivals, that you would see just a better game, a more exciting game down the stretch. But it was tense early on. But this Dodgers offense, they just couldn't muster up anything. They just really couldn't get it going. And you would think, I mean, both these teams have a combined 62 postseason appearances, 47 NL pennants, 15 World Series titles. And you were just hoping for a more exciting game. But like I said, with the way that Logan Webb can, when he gets all three going, the fastball, when he gets that sinker, the changeup, the slider, he is a really, really talented pitcher. He has filthy stuff. And tonight, he was just shoving out there. But here we go. All the pressure is on us. Who do you guys think the pressure? Well, I mean, it depends how you look at it. You know, I think what tonight proved is that, yes, it is true. The old adage, momentum is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher, and their momentum was very high when you have Logan Webb on the mound. And Walker Buehler, like I said, a few mistakes. One to Posey there in the first, and one to Chris Bryant there in the seventh, and he found a way to get outs in between those innings and get it done. And yeah, he had some nice sequences there. I thought just kind of bouncing back. If you look at the bottom of the second inning, Bryant reached on that infield single. Then Seager tried to make the backhand play. That goes for a single. Then on a 3-2 count to Yaz, he gets him swing at a fastball for strike three. So once I saw that punch out, I was starting to feel really good about Buehler, because that's when he's at his best. When yes, he has the curveball. Yes, he has the cutter, changeup. He can mix things up, but he's at its best when he's throwing his heater by guys. And I was encouraged there, bottom of the second, getting that punch out via the fastball and the swing and miss. And then after that, Longoria, he hits a ground ball to Seager, who was shifted towards second base, and he flips it to Trey, and they turn two. They turn two, and they get out of the inning. So some really nice double plays you saw tonight with the Keystone combination of Trey Turner and Seager, and also Crawford made some dazzling plays, no question about it. But here you go. Highest payroll in the baseball and a 0. Greg Beard. Francisco Acuna. I mean, highest payroll in baseball. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's like a little, I mean, that's fine, okay. I mean, I don't think that, I think honestly, if we're being completely honest, we have to tip our cap to Logan Webb tonight, because Logan Webb, I mean, his spider senses we're humming tonight, because the way he was executing pitches, he was poised. He did not look like the moment was too big. He did have that error there that allowed Seager to reach, but I did think that like if we go to the top of the fourth inning, Webb had retired 9 in a row since Mookie's leadoff single there in the first inning. And then on an 0-1 count, Seager hits a dribbler up the line. Webb went for the bare hand pickup, and he forgot the ball altogether. And Seager, he reaches on an error by Webb. It was his first error in his MLB career. Then on an 0-2 count, I thought that Trey Turner, not great at-bats from Trey. Trey Turner in the Trey area, I thought he really could have put together some better at-bats. He was offering at pitches outside the zone, chasing stuff low and away, and you see how they're trying to attack him, and he just could not handle that changeup. He really struggled against the changeup in that at-bat, the 3 straight pitches on 0-2 count. Right after he gave up the error, he had the error, and Seager was on first base. 3 straight pitches, 3 changeups, and Trey Turner, he strikes out. And then on a 2-1 pitch, following that, Justin Turner, he grounds into a double play. So what makes Logan Webb so special is he can dominate you. He can get the punch-outs. He can miss bats. He can fool you with off-speed stuff, but also he can induce those ground ball outs when he needs to, and it leads to key double plays like it did in the 4th inning there. But here we go. Steven Rogers, Dodgers, Basura. Okay, San Francisco. Welcome to the chat. You're helping out the numbers. By the way, I love how there's these Giants fans that are Laker fans. I don't get that. So when we had a Laker game, they were playing "I Love LA" by Randy Newman, the same song the Dodgers play when they celebrate. Do Giants fans that are Laker fans start singing "I Love LA"? I think it's the most hilarious thing ever. How could you be a Laker fan, a Giant fan? I don't get it. Anyways, we need Max Muncy. Yeah, missing Max Muncy. We need Max Muncy. You know how he hits them to McMuncy Cove out there? It's not an ocean, but it's still fun to say, go get it out of the ocean. And this year, 8 home runs against this Giants team, a 1,056 OPS. He is their daddy. Make no question about it. People were saying congratulations when he had his first kid, a few months ago. I'm saying, dude, Max Muncy has been the Giants' daddy for a long time now. He's already had kids. So, missing Max Muncy definitely hurts because he can turn on one. He can get you a big bomb that can change a game in a heartbeat. And look, I think that first Matt Beatty, he can fill in nicely. I think that if the rest of the offense is doing its job, he gives them a different element, a different dynamic where he's going up there and putting the bat on the ball. But I do think that there's no question about it. Replacing his power is going to be difficult. That's why I was encouraged to see Seager get that double late in the game because we need to see him start to slug. I need to see me some Corey Slugger. I like this. This is from I lost you. This is from Reyes Soto over on YouTube. RELAX a la Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, relax, guys. We've been in this situation. We know how to get out of it. This Giants team's a good team, but they're not unbeatable. Bad revenge on the Lance. Why didn't Urias start today? I mean, this was Walker's start all the whole time. The ump expanded the zone for righties. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I mean, it was a tight zone for Buehler early on. For Torres, that Carlos Torres, the home plate ump, gave for Walker Buehler. But for Logan Webb, it was the World Wide Web, if you want, so to speak. It was the World Wide Web for him out there behind the plate. He was getting that Grand Canyon strike zone. He was getting that call, like you said, on the outside towards righties. And when you're giving a pitcher like Logan Webb that kind of zone, he's going to take full advantage, and he did. That's why you saw him going to that slider away. That's why you saw him executing that two-seamer that had that run on it and his changeup. So, yeah, it's a great point, and it's definitely a fact. But at the same token, I mean, we couldn't even scratch a run, okay? We couldn't even scratch a run. And look, you got to adjust. You have to adjust. If you know that they're gonna continue to be inconsistent with the zone, you have to ambush some pitches. You have to attack. And, I mean, at the end of the day, they had to force him to throw strikes, and they weren't doing that, and they were allowing Logan Webb to get those punch-outs with pitches outside of the zone, and you saw that again tonight. Trey Turner, Matt Beatty, Cody Bellinger late in the game. A.J. Pollock. I mean, A.J. Pollock it's his absolute kryptonite. That slider away, they're just going. I mean, it is like, I mean, the way they're everyone on the planet knows how they're attacking A.J. Pollock, and he just cannot lay off that. He just can't lay off that slider. It's like if you put a big plate of nachos in, we're gonna see what if he can step up, because it's a big role to fill. We're gonna see if he can get the job done. I mean, defensively, he's actually looked apart, which is encouraging. Julio going to kill the Giants from Michael 909. We got EB Swallows. I have Priscilla Cabrera. I have all my faith in the boys in blue. Let's go Dodgers. Yeah, man. Hey, like I said, this time tomorrow, we could be celebrating, okay? We could be celebrating a series split. So let's all stay positive, because I still like the Dodgers' chances. Here we go. Blocked Graybeard. Who's Graybeard? Because, like, you've really been throwing me off this whole entire show. But we got to get some moderators from this, I guess. It makes it where I can't even read the comments sometimes. But it's all good, guys. Here we go. Let's see here. We got. All right, here we go. Smurf uniforms, I love it. We got. Here we go. Craig is CT3 for in center. CT3 in center tomorrow. Rebecca, do you guys want to see Chris Taylor get the start tomorrow, whether it be in center field over Bellinger, or do you want to see him starting in left over A.J. Pollock? I mean, tomorrow you got Gosman. He's a righty. No Bellinger, no Muncy from Jorge. Graybeard's getting roasted. We got LOL. CT3 left field. Yeah, this is from Jason Hernandez over on YouTube. CT3's in left. Cody Bellinger at first. And you want to see, there you go. No clutch hitting. Yeah, they just couldn't get the big hit. The Dodgers, they didn't get a home run tonight. The Dodgers, at some point, if they were able to hit a bomb and Cody Bellinger goes deep, or Corey Seager goes deep, or Will Smith, it's one out, then this is a different game here, and you really start to put that pressure on Logan Webb and this Giants bullpen that doesn't have their closer right now. They got Rodgers out there, so I was just hoping that we could find a way to get to maybe score one run off of Webb, keep it close, get to this bullpen, and then do damage. But it just didn't happen. They just, like I said, they did not put together quality at-bats tonight as well as they could have. Webb had a great night. They made him look like he was better than he really was. He got the benefit off a better zone from Torres. He had the worldwide Webb rocking for him, but Ryan M. Bellinger is garbage. Potential Pujols PH this series. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely in the cards for sure. I mean, we've already seen it earlier in the wild card game. Beatty is not starting tomorrow. Suck it, easy Smurfs. We got let Kirsch walk. Okay, bring back Bauer. That's what's wrong with AJ. Should have fired Roberts after 19 seasons from Careless Whisper. I think that's tough to say. No, he's the first NL manager to win to make it to the postseason in his first 6 seasons. I mean, the reality with Dave Roberts is he just came off really pressing all the right buttons against the Cardinals. And tonight, I mean, I think if you have any issues with anyone, it's not the manager, it'd be the hitting coaches tonight. And also, I mean, look, this offense really has struggled. I mean, they had 1 run until CT3 hit that 2-run shot there late. So we saw this offense. They were so hot to end the year against Milwaukee. You had Trey Turner hitting grand slam after grand slam. You had guys going deep. You saw what they did against San Diego with the 1+4 game. But this offense, I mean, they are not adjusting to postseason pitching as well as I had hoped early on here. So CT3 and Lev, yes, CT3. Cody should just bunt. Left field, please. I like Chris and Lev. We got is CT3 playing tomorrow? Oh my God, you need moderator. Yeah, I'll talk to them. I don't know. The whole thing is all messed up tonight, man. I'll figure this thing out. Here we go. Tonight was just one game. Webb's pitches were working tonight. Ryan Richard. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we've said all night here is that Webb was on. You got to tip your cap. Dodgers offense, they didn't come to play. I mean, you really have to be on a whole. You really have to go out there and put together the best at bat you possibly can each and every time you go out there, every opportunity. And look, an extra pitch here, an extra pitch there. You put him in a position where he might make a mistake, and you find a way to string some base hits together. You find a way to hit one out. Will Smith got the 2-bagger. So did Corey Seager. But that just wasn't enough. But here we go. Don't put mods in here. F censorship and fruitcakes who get offended easily. Yes, CT3 need now. The offense was off since the Cardinals. I'd back up T1. I'd sit Pollock. Give some rest, and that splitter-slider combo will give him fits. Put Beatty at first and Belly in center and Taylor in left. Back up T1. I like that take. I think that's a good point with Kevin Gausman. If he comes out and he's owning the bottom of that zone with that splitty, he can have success. And he's got his ERA is almost 5 in the second half, but he did have a quality start to end the year against San Diego Padres. And he's a guy that's going to go out there and he's going to challenge the Dodgers, but I have a lot more confidence going into tomorrow against Kevin Gausman, especially with Julio Urias on the mound, than I had today with them having Logan Webb, who had been dominating for them all second half long, who hadn't lost at home with him on the bump this entire year. So I'll be honest with you. I thought that today was a less than a coin flip game. I probably would say 49%, 51%, but just you got to be real with yourself sometime. And this with the way Logan Webb can locate, with the way he can utilize his slider, his changeup, and the way his 2-seamer has that run on it, generating those ground balls. I didn't feel good about it. I'll just be honest with you. But Dodgers win this series from Alex Luna, giving Giants false hope. A lot of swings at pitches outside the strike zone. That's what we were talking about earlier. By the way, before we end this, how are you guys feeling about your series prediction? I already said Dodgers in 4, so I got to stick with that. I'm hoping we win. Dodgers win tomorrow, and then they take the 2 at home. And you got to feel pretty good about that, considering one of those will be with Mad Max. I mean, one of the good things about this year versus last year is we have those days of rest in between. So that's definitely a very positive thing. But I still have Dodgers in 4. Let me get your predictions right now. And who will be the player of the game tomorrow for the Dodgers? So here we go. If Julio wins it tomorrow, I'm buying a jersey. That's from Brandon. Yeah, if Julio Urias dominates tomorrow, I might have to buy one with you. I really might. Logan Webb got lucky from Bruce Davis. Belly went back to closing his eyes. He can't see sheet. That's from Tim over on YouTube. Susanna, we lost the first game. However, Dodgers, we got Gausman pitched good. Dodgers have to jump on Gausman early. He hasn't been the same guy as of late. Yeah, he really hasn't. Gosman in the second half of the season just hasn't been as successful. So the numbers indicate that an ERA of almost 5 in the first half. It was at 1.74, and before the crackdown, it was at a 1.51. He was in the mix to win the NL Cy Young. But here we go. I said it in 3. LOL. Oh, Anthony Keene, your sweep is going to be gone, but it's okay. They can still win it. It could be a gentleman's sweep. That's what I predicted. But hope the Dodgers win. Dodgers in 4, Giants in 3. Pollo steps it up. Jeff Lane, I would love to see that. Poop Scoop. Giants in 3, Dodgers in 4 is my prediction. I'm sticking with that. That's from Alex Renteria. We got I still believe Dodgers in 4. That's from Robert Loya. Cypress Caller, have you Dodgers in 4? They came to get 1. LOL. Okay. Luigi DeGrande, Dodgers in 4. Wish we had Verdugo. Brian Alex. Yeah, what'd you guys think about that? Kike Hernandez and Alex Verdugo getting it done for the Sox tonight. That was nice to see. Once a Dodger, always a Dodger. But, I mean, yeah, I think that I'm totally fine with both those with Kike leaving, because Kike wanted 500 plate appearances. He wanted a team where he could be an everyday player, and that just wasn't going to be the case here. He's not as good as Webb. Urias feels more like a younger Kershaw with his off speed, but performs in the postseason. That's from in the stack over on YouTube. Giants in 4. That's from Yeesh. Player of the game tomorrow is you fans yelling fire Roberts, Matt King. 5-1 Dodgers tomorrow. Giants from Jenny Vega. Ha ha ha. We got Dodgers bounce back like last year's Braves. Well, I hope that was back against the wall. That was down 3 games to 1. So I hope that's not the case. But yeah, I think the Urias is going to ball out tomorrow. Dodgers in 5 because I have tickets to Game 5. Okay, that'd be cool. Vesia sucks. I mean, Vesia gave the bomb, but look, they're going to need him to be that electric guy. You also saw some nice stuff from him today. He made a mistake. And nice to get that one out of the way early on. Hopefully he can come back, bounce back, and be a real trusted piece out of that pen. But Kike Hernandez would strike out with the Dodgers. He needs to be on the Red Sox. Dodgers in 4 means they win 3 in a row. That is what that means. But hopefully they win tomorrow. I mean, I thought, I just kind of wanted to go with the bolder 4-game, the 3-game, or the Dodgers in 4. But I feel good about tomorrow. You got Julio Urias on the mound. Gosman hasn't been that guy. The bullpen's going to be ready to go. I think the bats will step up. So here we go. Julio from William Blockson. We got Noah. I wonder when Dodgers fans will admit Giants better after the series. That would probably be a good point. Probably be a good time to do that if the Giants are able to win. But here we go. Dodgers in 4 from Bruce Davis. Michael Rain. That's super. We got Trevor Drake. I'm just nervous because of the performances of Mad Max and Buehler these past starts. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a valid concern when you consider that Mad Max just came off of 3 subpar starts, and then Walker Buehler tonight, look, 6 1/3, 3 earned runs. Punch-outs weren't there. Missed bats weren't where we would like them to be. But he was out there battling. He was getting outs, and to me, the offense is going to need to pick it up, and things might have been different. He didn't give that home run to Posey, and then you live with that one for Chris Bryant. It's a different story. 2 extra base hits tonight, one by Will Smith, one by Corey Seager, and just not enough on offense. 5 hits and 32 at-bats is just not going to get it done in 11 strikeouts. So that's just a recipe for an L, and it's a recipe to get shut out, and that's exactly what happened tonight. But here we go. Win tomorrow, go home 1-1. Yeah, that's the vibe. Come on, guys. Let's flush this one and come back, focus, and ready to roll tomorrow. Player of the game is going to be Julio. That's from Anthony Keene over on YouTube. I like that too. I'm going to agree with you on that. I think Julio Urias is going to be the guy that is going to pick up where he left off last year, and I expect him to be on his game. And I'm very excited to see his outing tomorrow. I think that he'll pick it up. I think the bats. I think Trey Turner is going to have a better game. I think Trey Turner is going to have a better game. He had 2 hits in the wild card game. Tonight wasn't his night, but I think he's a guy that'll step up. Here we go. We got can't have 2 clunkers back-to-back. We got Matt King has no life. Backed up T1. Need a 2-run bomb from JT tomorrow in the first inning. That would be great. Here we go. We got Nikili Sean Bag has no life. What up? Let's go Dodgers. Let's go. Just 1 game. See, we got this. Trey should bat second for Matt. We'll see how this lineup goes. I mean, look, last year we had most of our success with Mookie Betts batting leadoff, Corey Seager batting second, and Trey Turner has shown he can hit with power. I mean, he had 2 grand slams last week, so I still feel good about Trey Turner batting in the 3-hole, and you have Justin Turner hitting cleanup. But here we go. We will see what happens tomorrow. MLB ain't giving a trophy to a team. Matt King, I'm going to find a way to block you, so what up? And get some last comments in. This will be the last time you go on this show. Love D-Mac. Great show. Thanks, Jenny. Bet Vega. We always win with Julio Urias. Wow. Here we go. Matt King, get your comments in, man. This is the last show you'll ever be able to participate in. So keep going at it. And then you can, waste your life doing this in another chat. We need Muncie. Here we go. Giants dominate Dodgers during the regular season. I wouldn't quite say dominate when they just won one more game. They won 10 out of 19. Julio can't bunt. Always a great stream. Love you, D-Mac. Thanks, Cesar. Giants fans are trashy. That's from cheap_shot_24. AC, Brewers or Braves, who would you like to face? AC. I would mind a rematch of last year. I mean, as far as who I think the Dodgers have a better chance of winning against, it's definitely the Atlanta Braves. They have a potent offense. There's no question about it. Starters, the edge definitely goes to the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, they got some horses over there. They got a formidable bullpen. So I would definitely rather play the Atlanta Braves. Dodgers in 4 from Robbie Lux. We got Adios, Dodger Blue, Alex. Giants uniforms are ugly as hell. D-Mag, what is the plan of attack tomorrow? I think tomorrow is just ride Julio, score some runs on Gausman earlier, have the bullpen come out and shut things down, and try to avoid those untimely bombs by San Francisco. They're averaging 1.5 bombs per game. They finished second in the league with most home runs. They finished first in the National League, and most runs generate off home runs. So I think that's really the big key, is to keep them from slugging and play clean defense. And Julio Urias, keep that pitch count lower so you can go deeper into the game, throw strikes, attack the zone. And look, this is a good team. This is a team that from top to bottom have a lot of guys that can go yard. But here we go. Dodgers in 4. Matt Beatty should be the catcher. He would look good with those glasses. You never hear from Giants fan when they lose. Get moderators. Yeah, man, I'll figure something out. All right, man. Think about this. These guys' life is so short, and they're spending their time in a chat for the Dodgers. Why would you waste your life like that? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. But Dodgers in 3. I don't really understand the resurgence of these Giants players from Trevor Drake. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, Buster Posey is his highest OPS plus since like 2014 or 2016, something like that. Brandon Crawford was in the MVP conversation, a resurgent year. I mean, it's very interesting. If we lose tomorrow, we need to sweep the Giants from Cesar Peace, because who starts? I think they'll probably still go with Beatty tomorrow. See you tomorrow when it's 1-1. It's crazy. Their fans are scared, from Daniel Cruz. But yep, guys, thanks for rocking with us as always here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. Be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Also, be sure to rock with Mr. Clint Pasillas and Brooke Smith before the game on the pregame show. They're going to be doing all the pregames for the entire postseason run, which is going to be deep because we're going to beat these Giants fans. And these guys in this chat, they're going to either D-Mac, did you enjoy your Cold Michelada? Not yet. I'll be after. Tomorrow we're taking it. Giants fans are a bunch of bandwagon jumping airheads from Robbie Luggs. Giants fans are scared. Ben's scared. Thanks, Doug. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Tim. Yeah, and also thanks for the Giants fans. You help out the stream. But as long as you're not being rude to other people, that's not cool. But thanks again, guys. See you tomorrow, man. We'll be coming at you live immediately after the game. So like I said, as you're watching the game, have your takes ready, and we'll be reading them off live. So, yep, the Dodgers, they lose tonight by a score of 4-0. Final thoughts, Webb was dealing. Bats weren't getting it done. Like I said, just 2 extra base hits on the night. 0 for 5 with runners in the scoring position. 11 strikeouts. Walker Buehler, 2 mistakes. Vesia made a mistake, and that was their formula for success, and you saw it tonight. But D-Mac, the GOAT, thanks a lot, Abe. Thanks a lot, Tina. Thanks a lot, all you guys out there. Brian Gax, appreciate you, my man. Back up T1. This isn't a one-game series. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodgers baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue,